Let me begin by congratulating you, President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda, for taking over the helm of the non-aligned movement at this 19th summit. Your leadership is even more timely as Uganda assumes this role at a critical moment of collective awareness among the countries of the global south. This is the first NAM summit following the onset of the pandemic, the debt crisis, climate catastrophe, new global competition, and the ensuing multiple implications for the world, in particular for the global south. Mr. President, as we meet today, a humanitarian crisis is unfolding in the Gaza Strip and beyond. For over 3 months, immense suffering and losses have been endured by the Palestinian civilian population, endangering regional security and stability. Until now, the NAM was largely silent. How can we remain silent when Gaza is destroyed, people denied humanitarian aid, and a vast majority of the dead are innocent civilians? Silence implies consent. It is encouraging that this 19th summit has given the highest priority to this crisis in Gaza and the inalienable rights of the people of Palestine to self-determination and the realization of an independent and sovereign state of Palestine. We must congratulate South Africa for the bold stand it has taken in regard to Gaza. The international community has already called for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire and a release of the hostages. There cannot be a two-state solution based on one state, Israel. No resolution is possible without a state of Palestine. Therefore, in line with the multiple UN resolutions and the declarations of this summit, the international community must recognize the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem as territories coming within the state of Palestine. And in addition, there should be no change in the ethnic composition of Gaza. Sri Lanka also proposes that the state of Palestine be established within 5 years and no more. Mr. President, we are now witnessing the end of the post-Cold War order and the coming into being of the evolving multipolar world. On the geopolitical front, we are witnessing the resurgence of latent and open conflicts involving former and aspiring major powers. In Europe, the transatlantic military alliance has been strengthened. Past arms control agreements have collapsed. Military expenditure has reached historically unprecedented levels, and nuclear weapons are once again the subject of apparently serious policy discussion. Outer space and the oceans have become potential theaters of conflict and geostrategic competition, including in our vicinity in the Indian and Pacific Ocean. Free trade and economic integration is being reversed by policy-driven rise of trade protectionism due to strategic competition among major powers. Furthermore, this is being extended with the concepts of decoupling and de-risking, a unilateral declaration of a new trade order, and the setting aside of the multilateralism by the West. The weaponizing of the dollar, the new challenges of economic and the debt crisis, climate justice, food and energy security, digital and technological divides, and the advanced WMD arsenals have aggravated existing inequalities between the developing states of NAM and the developed world. The theme of this summit, deepening cooperation for shared global affluence, reflects the need to address the inequities between our two worlds. Furthermore, experience shows us that to succeed, we need a strong and a united NAM that contributes to a better world for all. To do so, we have to reinvent ourselves. Our membership today is no longer a grouping of weak states. We must recognize that as a result of the rapid progress and economic advancement of some of the Asian, African, and Latin American states, a majority of the 10 leading economies of 2050 will belong to this movement. We see among us rising aspirants for leadership status in global affairs. They must be prepared to give leadership. Furthermore, there is a vital role we must play as geostrategic rivalries in political, economic, technological, and military terms become more pronounced among former and the new contenders for major power status. Mr. President, therefore the NAM must reinvent itself under your chairmanship, assume a new role in a multipolar world to transform itself as the largest bloc representing the global south. We must also recast our objectives. While upholding the Bandung principles in the evolving multipolar world, we need 1. Oppose the spread of big power rivalry, including the coercion of uncommitted states. 2. Build a multipolar world which incorporates the political, economic, social and climate change mitigation aspirations of the global south. Let us transform ourselves from this loose movement to become a dynamic bloc of the global south and its friends. Let us establish an effective, permanent, operational structure which is equipped to address the contemporary challenges facing the global south, an organization which is capable of shaping the new order. Mr. President, our future lies in our hands. We can make it or break it. Let us make it work. Let me conclude by thanking you, Mr. President, and the government of Uganda for the excellent arrangements for hosting this important 19th summit of the non-aligned movement. Thank you.
I thank His Excellency the President of Sri Lanka for his statement